Yo, we're live. We're going to talk about how the Matrix is crumbling, how it's falling apart, and any questions that you guys may have about anything, we're going to answer them. It feels good to be live again. I'm looking forward to talking to y'all, seeing how y'all doing since we last talked live. Yeah. Let me know how y'all doing. For all the ones that's here, say what's good. Let me know how you feeling. Um, Let me know how you been these past couple days, this past week and whatnot. If you have any questions, let me know. And I'll talk about a few things as more people join when it comes to how the Matrix is completely falling apart. And when I bring up the Matrix, I don't want people to think about things externally, although things externally are going to also fall. The Matrix, the thing that tends to encapsulate people, actually exists inside of you first, then it manifests outside of you. Yo, what's popping? Oh, let me put the chat up real quick. Wow. Yo, what's popping? What's popping? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, a lot of people think about the Matrix as systems which exist outside of them. But the thing is, the systems outside of you can only mess you up if they trap the inside of you. Yo, what's popping? What's popping? You're doing good. How have I been? I've been pretty good. I've been pretty good, been tapping into a couple of things and whatnot, finding out some new information, planning out things that I want to release to all of you. The Astral Mastery course will be officially updated in like 2 days. Every single video has already been recorded. So for the ones inside the course, be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be pretty dope. Hey, what's poppin', Fractal? How you doing? How you feeling? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Any questions y'all got, feel free to ask. But I will talk about the Matrix too. Um, yeah, the Matrix is crumbling, especially when it comes to how people are viewing reality and viewing themselves. Because certain ways of thinking and being are just not happening anymore, or people are just not accepting that anymore. Things that people have been doing forever, they're starting to say, wait a minute, why do I do these things? I'm just going to stop doing that. That's how you free yourself first. And then as more people free themselves, you start to manifest a world that is based upon freedom, since no one is allowing themselves to fall victim to any of these external systems. Are we in the end times? Depends on what you define as the end times. But in a general answer, you can say yes, a lot of people say that, but this doesn't mean it's gonna be like Armageddon per se. um I'm not gonna say that Earth is gonna be destroyed and that we're all just gonna, you know, fly up in the clouds like it's a rapture. I'm not by end times. I don't mean that. So if you mean that, then I don't mean that. But like this, a lot of things are ending. The matrix is crumbling. And the thing is, the matrix has been crumbling. It's just that things crumble in waves. Typically, you have different waves of awakening, and it's like the waves are just picking up more and more by the years. We had one huge wave in like 2019. Is that salt water? No, I'm not drinking no salt water. I would never drink salt water. I know why people drink it for the whole electromagnetic, whatever the heck. But the thing is, I'll find better ways to channel energy than drinking salt. I'm not drinking no dang salt water. But I don't knock people who do it though. Like if that works for you, that's great. That just wouldn't work for me. Like my body would not like that, but other people's bodies might like that. Um, but yeah. It's kind of like 2019, 2020 area. A lot of people were waking up a certain kind of way, but it wasn't as grounded. You started having people say it's going to be a big solar flash on this day, and everybody's powers are going to come. They're going to start flying and da 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 da. And granted, like people's powers can awaken, but it's not going to be like just this one huge solar flash that's going to just awaken everybody. People were very ungrounded back then, but people are more grounded now. And as these different waves of awakening happen, people are becoming more grounded, but also realizing that things are not always as they seem. I've basically seen several past lives now, and I found the movie Cloud Atlas. People are revealing their mask big time. So am I. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad to hear that. That's what's up. Yo, what's poppin', Mario? Yo, what's good, Red Flame Dragon? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? How y'all been? Yeah, nah, I'm saying. What's life been like for all y'all? I actually had an experience last night. Um, and I was interacting with some beings, and they were just telling me a few things about disclosure and whatnot. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I'm still learning more, and I'm going to likely have to revisit this place. Maybe tonight, we'll just see how I feel. But yeah, greetings from yo, what's up? People from Poland watch me. That's what's up. Shout out to Poland. You know, how you doing? How you feeling? Your boy is mad thirsty right now. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I did write a little bit of notes. So let me check my notes real quick. What's popping? Just caught the live. Yo, what's popping, Tiger? You know what I'm saying? How you doing? Yeah, let's talk about why the matrix is crumbling. Let's talk about let's go into why. And I already kind of mentioned a little bit of why, but essentially people are freeing themselves. As less people participate in systems, those systems cannot be upheld. So understand that when it comes to awakening, let's think about this like a dream. Your life is your own dream, and you can make your life however you want it to be. Now, in order for the collective to shift at large, more people have to become lucid in the collective dream. So you waking yourself up is very powerful because now you can make your own reality. But now, as other people wake up, they also make their own realities. And it gets to a point where everybody is lucid in this dream. Now, there are various different degrees of lucidity. When it comes to the people that have tried to enslave humanity and whatnot, they have a certain level of lucidity that a lot of humans don't have, which is why they're able to manipulate humans. But they're not as lucid as they fully could be because they're very attached to the dream. It's like they're aware that they can manipulate this dream, but they're still playing a character in the dream, and they're still falling victim to their character because the way that they're acting is very much based upon survival, fear, and whatnot. Like people crave power because they fear losing it. People crave power because they fear being weak. So they're actually doing these things out of fear. They're not as confident as you might think. That's why they don't want you to understand your own power and whatnot. But as more people become more lucid, they become more lucid than the people that are doing the evil things. So over time, those systems begin to die because you have more lucid dreamers inside this collective dream that are waking up. You see? Let's read some comments. I woke up one morning and the thought of Lyra constellation or Lyra star system came to mind. I know it can mean many things, but any insights on that? You likely have a connection there, bro. Whether like it could have been that a certain being could have put that in your mind for you to eventually do research on. It could have been that last like the night like you said you just woke up. So possibly when you were asleep, you could have been in Lyra. Possibly you could have been in an energy that resonates with Lyra, so you heard that. um yeah, Vega's a part of the Lyra star system, for sure. All kinds of stars in Lyra. But yeah, you likely have some kind of connection there, whether you were already there that night or if there's just something pulling you to that place. You could be a Lyran star seed. You could have Lyran past lives. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. I've been enjoying your Astral Guide course. Hey, that's what's up. Yeah, it's about to get updated in like 2 days. And I'm probably gonna also update my website. It's gonna be like the first day of summer. So I that's most likely when I'm gonna update my website and put up the new services with new prices and whatnot, and get rid of some of the other services and whatnot. So if you guys want to book with me, it's best to do it now before the prices go up and everything. I did have a flood of people just recently book with me, so I'm still sending out some emails. So if y'all didn't get an email with the coaching link, that you're gonna get that by the end of the weekend, most definitely, but probably by the end of today. If not today, then tomorrow for sure. But yeah, so that's what's up with that. But yeah, people are waking up. And the simple fact that people are waking up to the fact that they can create the reality, that's already enough. Whether people believe in aliens or not, whether people believe in like these different kinds of technology or not, as long as people are authentically trying to create their life from an authentic place, things are going to be great. And what I mean is the fact that when people try to manifest but from a lower state, they're like, oh, I want to manifest. I want to like you might have the guy that never got no women. So he's like, I want to manifest a whole bunch of women. You know what I'm saying? Like that's petty stuff. But like when people really tap into their soul and they're like, what do I really want to do for myself? They typically want to do things that benefit them and will likely also benefit the collective, even if it's not a direct thing. Like, I want to create this for the world. Simply them becoming a happier person naturally makes everybody else happier too. So my point is the fact that once people start understanding that they could create their own life and that also they don't have to be who they're told to be by the world, once people just start living authentically to themselves and just love themselves more, it doesn't fully matter if they believe in these higher things or not, because those will come anyway. If everybody's living a life of love and truth, they're living in alignment with themselves, they're going to keep on following that truth until more truth comes out. So that's a really big thing that people are understanding, that they have power over their lives and that they don't have to be bound to old ways of thinking and old ways of doing things that have been put on them by the external world. So that's part of the reason why the matrix is crumbling, right? Let's see. Bro, Cash, last live you talked about how Earth was before the Rose Christian got it the same, like you said it, but they say seven epics or circles. Well, remember you mentioned the seven epics. I still ain't look it up yet, but I'll look it up at some point for sure. That's what's up though. We might get into that today. You might like to look it up today. I keep seeing a person I ended a friendship with in my dreams. Am I having astral experiences with them? Technically, all your dreams are in the astral. It's just the astral layer of your own mind. I'm assuming what you mean is that are you actually out of body interacting with this person though? Depends. Have so a lot of times when we end relationships with people, we will tend to dream about them because our mind is still trying to process it, right? But say that you used to always be with this person, your mind might still be attached to being with that person. So in your dreams, you're with that person. Or inside your dreams, it might be known that you cut things off with this person, but you guys just keep on interacting because that's your mind's way of trying to let it go. Now, on the flip side, this does often bleed into actually interacting with the person. This is like a really like tricky gray area, because if you are thinking about a person subconsciously, you can end up interacting with them, like genuinely like interacting with that person in the astral plane. Like you're not just interacting with your own mind and thought forms. That can happen, you know, and the lines get very blurred. Now the thing is, it doesn't really matter, to be honest, because if you ended the friendship and you genuinely want to stop being friends with this person, then just let it go. Whether it's your mind doing it or it's you actually seeing them, doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be letting them go. Now, if you at some point realize that, hey, I think that I actually should be this person's friend, then reach out. Your dream is kind of helping you decide that, whether you're actually with them out of your body or if it's just a dream. The main lesson here is, what do you want to do with this situation? Are you going to fully let it go, or are you going to talk to that person again? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and sometimes also because you think about this person, you might not even necessarily leave your body and go to them, but you might body hop into a different version of you that still hangs out with that person. You might just hop into a different reality where you and that person still interact. So these lines get very blurred, but once again, it doesn't inherently matter, because the main lesson is are you going to let this go or not? If you let it go, it'll stop happening, you know? But if you just want to be cool with this person, then probably get back cool with the person. But if they're not good for you, just probably let it go, you know? Yo, what's good, Jaden? How you doing? What's popping? What's popping? I'm saying I need help understanding how to handle the betrayals people around me show now. I know it's their mask, but it's basically all the emo mother makes you depressed. When stuff like that happens, all right, I want to think about a way to say this that is really empathetic to your situation because I've been there before. Um, and when you're in that, the feelings can be overwhelming for sure. But I would say honestly, like if you can't control how these people are and it's hurting you how these people are behaving, first just observe the emotion and don't identify with it as much. Like it might feel depressing, but you're not the thing that's depressed. That's just an emotion that's being experienced through your body. So first just observe it, right? And accept that this feeling is there. Observe it, look at it, understand why you feel hurt. You know, maybe your beliefs are like, yo, mothers are supposed to support their child and stuff like that, right? So the fact that my mom your thought, like most people's mind mental process is like my mom should be there for me, my mom wouldn't betray me, my mom, I should be able to trust my mom. When that story breaks, it could be hurtful because we're attached to the story. Over time, as you just observe it and make distance from and create a distance from the emotion, you stop caring that much. You kind of just accept it for what it is. And you kind of just move accordingly, you know? So in the beginning, you need to really just observe and understand and don't ignore, but just understand that like you are not like this emotion doesn't define you, you know? And once you're able to get over that emotional part, now it comes to logic where it's like, okay, these people are betraying me, and like you getting mad at them is not going to really serve you. It's just going to make things worse. You can't fight fire with fire, right? It's just going to make the situation bigger. Over time, the emotions calm down, and you really just go to logic where it's like, well, these people keep on betraying me. I can't trust them with certain things. Now I'm going to move accordingly. The hard part is really just like the emotions about it because we have so many stories around, especially family and people close to us. We think that people would never betray us, so when they do, that story kind of breaks and it feels like a part of ourselves is like it's like we're losing a part of ourselves that identified with this person never hurting us, and it's hard for us to sometimes handle that. But over time, you create distance from that emotion, you understand it, you observe it, you let it be, but you don't let it control you, and then you just make decisions that are best for you and the people around you. But don't let it break you though. You know, don't let situations like that break you. Don't let it throw you off your pivot. Don't let it make you act out of character. Nah. You know how some people can meditate and naturally leave the body. So in the astral, what happens when you meditate and leave your astral body in the same ways? Um, when you meditate, different things can happen when you meditate out of your body. Either so if you're when it comes to meditating and going somewhere else, either you'll just end up in a different reality, typically a higher one, unless you're trying to go to a lower one. But you'll typically just enter into another reality and just still have your body. Now you can go beyond that. You can go beyond the astral, but now things get formless, you know? Like you don't have a form, you stop seeing things because in order to have a visual experience, you need to be in the astral plane, even if you're in the astral plane while interpreting higher planes, you know, because you could be in the astral plane but still see how your plane's in a visual way. But once you go beyond the astral, you stop seeing things. So you might end up going to source. You might just end up in a black space just floating and thinking about different things and whatnot, you know? Or you'll just end up in a new visual reality. Because if you try to meditate and then like leave your astral body, you kind of just tap more into your formless consciousness that doesn't perceive things through sight. It just perceives things by direct perception and direct experience of that thing, which produces no visual experience because you're actually tapped into the essence of a thing rather than having the essence of a thing project itself into form so that way you can understand it in that kind of way. I hope that made sense. Thank y'all. Do that. Glad to hear that. Finna go to Muay Thai class. That's what's up. That's what's up. Fuck with Muay Thai for sure. All right, let's get more into some Matrix stuff. Hold up. All righty. So, what is this gonna look like? You know, what is the Matrix falling gonna look like? It's gonna look like people creating their own realities separate from the system, and collective awakening, which leads to collective disclosure. So, I mentioned this in my video about disclosure, about how when more people start demanding certain things, more of it comes out. So a lot of people are thinking about aliens. So that's coming out. But some people are like, well, what about free energy technology and stuff like that? That's gonna come too, right? There are many people that are aware of aliens, but they're not aware of these other things like the med beds, time travel technology. That stuff is still too far out for them, you know? So that's why we're not seeing a huge emergence of those other things yet, but that's going to come too. As more people awaken and live independent from the system, they'll just start tapping in with their soul and their spirit. They'll get closer to that more and more. A person living in their highest truth is always going to stumble across more truth. So in the beginning, your highest truth might just be acting your highest truth might just be behaving as like an actor or a singer. That's your highest truth in that moment. But because you're following your highest truth, you're only going to stumble across more truth. At first, you're an actor and you're a singer. Over time, you get into spirituality because that's just where your truth led you. Truth leads to more truth. So, as more people live their own truth, more truth gets revealed. They get closer to higher truths that collectively we start to understand and we see more out inside the world. And because we are becoming more open to deception, I mean, and I don't mean like we're open to being deceived. I mean like we're able to see deception. You know, like because we're able to see more deception, we're not accepting certain narratives anymore. Like certain narratives that niggas would just say and be like, "Oh yeah, this is what happened," and we're like, "Okay, that's what happened." It's like, no, we're not doing that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? So because we don't accept certain narratives and we're demanding more truth is gonna start coming. Here's an example of how people are seeing through bullshit. I don't know if y'all know, but the US was just involved in a war with Iran. Now, that war is apparently over, and it seems like America lost. Now, a lot of people don't even know that. Nigga, I just found that shit out today because it was brought into my awareness by certain beings. And then I did the research. I'm like, holy fucking shit, word. So, yeah, first, the US should never got involved in that war anyway. Okay. Now, the US had certain goals that they wanted to achieve by that war. The US achieved none of those goals. And in fact, they just gave Iran a whole bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? Iran's still doing the shit that they wanted. Iran is still doing the same shit that America wanted Iran to stop doing, you know? So here's what I'm saying this, right? Not because I want y'all to focus on the war, but because back in the past, niggas could have said that it was a good deal and we would have believed that shit. But people that are actually into this war stuff, when they see the agreements that we made to Iran, it's like, nigga, we just surrendered and gave them more shit. Nigga, they're better off now than they were before we got into war with them. And we got no benefit. Like, there's no benefit that we got from that shit. You know what I'm saying? At all. It was a pointless war, to be honest, that ended up making Iran get put in a better place. Now, with that shit being said, I wasn't even focused on the goddamn war. It just came up today. And it's funny because, like, when you, like I said, if you are interested in it, it's very clear to see that the US lost and that they surrendered and that it was a pointless war. Now, people like Trump and the vice president, it seems like JD Vance, they're trying to make it seem like it was a great deal. It was a great thing that happened. No one's buying that shit. Niggas are not buying. Like, you have Republicans and Democrats mad as shit. You know what I'm saying? So my point is the fact that A lot of people, although people like us, we probably don't give a fuck about none of that shit. A lot of people are still caught up into politics and all these different things that happen inside the world. And typically people get deceived by politicians. But as we are becoming more aware, we understand that we can't trust them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But more and more people are seeing that, because although for us that's like dead as a Tuesday, not a lot of people fully grasp that. There's a lot of people that even will say that politics are BS, but they're still very into politics. I know a lot of people who are like that, you know? But this helps them see more and more just how much stuff be on some bullshit. So that's an example of no longer taking deception. It's like, bitch, don't lie to me. I know what the fuck it is. And you can't hide it. You can't hide this shit no more. It gets to a point where it's like they start telling you shit because you already found it out. But now it's like they don't want to make it sound like they were lying to you the whole entire time. So now they finally tell you. It's kind of like how when they say that, oh yeah, they decided to free the slaves. Niggas ain't do that shit out the kindness of their heart. The slaves was whooping their ass. It's like, bitch, I was already freeing myself. That's why you chose to free me, because we was whooping y'all ass. Yeah, this is alive, bro. What's good, my guy? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. When it comes to slavery and shit like that, they let it make you think that, oh yeah, out the kindness of their heart, niggas just freed the slaves. That's not what happened. The slaves were freeing themselves, terrorizing them plantations, nigga. It's like, bitch, if you don't legally make us free, we're going to unalive you. You were forced to free us. So I'm saying that because it's the same when it comes to releasing truth in the world. It gets to a point where they just can't hide the truth, and so many niggas start finding out the truth that it's like, damn, we kind of have to tell them now. We kind of have to tell them, or else they're really not gonna fucking trust us anymore. And it's like, bitch, it's too late. We already don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people still have hope in the government and still have hope in Trump because they're talking about ETs and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, they are telling us about ETs. They are for us. Those people still have some more learning to do, but they're learning also. People like us, we've been known, like, nigga, ETs are real. You're just forced to tell us because, nigga, the ETs been telling us for a while anyway. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we not accepting no more deception, bro. That's gonna make this shit crumble. You know what I'm saying? It's already crumbling because it's crumbling inside of you first before it crumbles outside of you. Um, I wanted to talk about this also. I mentioned this on Patreon like a month or two ago. I was interacting with some beings from a world called Oceania. Um, they're pretty much like, they look like black people, but they like live in like these underwater places, and like they're kind of like merged with the element of water. And Oceania is like a giant water library world. So it's like you go there and they have knowledge from like all the different water worlds. You have water worlds in Sirius, water worlds in Sextons, nigga, Atlantis and shit. It has records for all of that in Oceania. Now, the people, they were teaching me about water and about how water holds memory. I'm like, yeah, we know that water holds memory. But it's like, yeah, but do you know that every time it rains, that there's memory being returned to Earth? You see, they were already telling me that certain ancient memory is returning back to Earth. They told me this like a month or two ago. It's like a lot of people are feeling drawn to tap into shit like Atlantis, Lemuria, ancient civilizations. It's because that wisdom is returning. And every time it rains, memories being restored. You see, when it comes to rain, right? The water that is raining on Earth is pretty much the same water that's been here for millions of years, or however long you think Earth has been here for. Because where does rain come from? Clouds burst, rain drops, that rain gets evaporated, forms clouds, those clouds burst. It's the same water recycling itself. Water holds memory. So water holds memory of knowledge before the reset. And every time it rains, that water is being redistributed to the earth. Also, clouds, ancient Kemet, yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Clouds move and stuff like that, right? So like a cloud that could have been in New a cloud that could have been in New York can end up in Texas. A cloud that's in Texas could have eventually, like the water from that cloud could have somehow eventually got to Africa. So what I'm trying to say is, with all the rain that comes on Earth, it's the same water that's been here for a while, and that water holds memory. Even swimming inside certain oceans and stuff like that will provide you with it can provide you with memory. You know, this is why the Egyptians worship the Nile River, because after Earth fell in frequency and that it was fully inside the physical plane, life began to emerge in Africa. And you had civilizations that were near the Nile. And when these civilizations started to drink from the Nile, they were getting their memory back of who they were before the reset. And they were actually finding these ancient structures, such as the pyramids, because the pyramids were already built at a higher frequency. And then certain humans just inherited that, you know? So with that be like, when it comes to like, those pyramids were built back when Egypt was not a desert, but then over time civilizations reemerged and they inherited those pyramids when Egypt was a desert. They tend to tell you that the Egyptian civilizations, like the people there, started to form when Egypt was already turning into a desert. That's because those are people that are inheriting that land, because those people used to be higher beings in a higher frequency back when Earth was not exclusively in the physical plane. When the matrix fully falls apart, what will be our source of energy? The 0 point. We'll just say the 0 point. Pure energy. You know what I'm saying? The 0 point field. For sure. And they've been like, the thing is, 0 point energy, like, I'm like, most, like, the people at the top understand how the fuck that shit work. They know exactly how the fuck to implement it. The only reason they don't do it is because they wouldn't make as much money anymore. If you could, if see, the reason why we pay for energy is because we have a limited amount of resources. Okay. So if we have so for example, if we have like a limited amount of gas, that gas becomes valuable, and first come, first serve. The people that pay for the gas get the gas. But if you always have energy and you have free energy, they can't charge you for energy no more, because we getting this shit from fucking everywhere around us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we start using free energy, they can't charge you they can't charge you money for fucking energy. Yo, what's popping? What's popping, bro? They also try to tell us that with this technology, we will destroy ourselves. Therefore, it's gay. I don't buy. I never even heard. That's a crazy excuse. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Bullshit. The fuck? Yeah, it's sad how these negative forces are so bent on keeping up this land reality. They hold it on tightly like a crack fiend to the pipe. They can't help it. So how should we deal with these? Understand this: the things that you see fighting the hardest are the things that are currently dying right now. Let them die. That's how you deal with it. Let them die. You know what I'm saying? As you destroy the programming in your mind that they place there, and as you break free mentally and begin to create your own reality, and as you start seeking your own truth outside of what the fuck they tell you, everything that they built starts to die. And if they're feeding off you, but you don't let them feed off of you, they die. You know? And when things are dying, they're fighting the hardest. When you ever sprayed a bug with some Windex, that shit start. You ever sprayed a bug with some Windex? That shit be like, you know what I'm saying? That shit fighting for dear life, because it just got sprayed the fuck down. The fucking, we spraying niggas down straight Windex. Fuck, they be saying insectoids, right? Windex. I ain't gonna. I fuck with insectoids though. Let's not hate on the insectoids. You know what I'm saying? Good and bad in all species. It's actually some really dope insectoids. But yeah, nigga, we spraying shit down. And niggas is fighting hard as fuck to live. Y'all niggas ever burnt a fly? That shit. Y'all niggas ever put the lighter to the fly? Y'all never did that? I did that. That should be fighting on for dear life. Let it die. You know what I'm saying? Let it die. For sure. Jeannie, what are had to get myself right. Jeannie, what are what the fuck? My fault. Jenny, what are your opinions on the school system being revamped in this new phase of Earth? Do you think it will take a long time to do? I'm not sure. It could be quick in the sense that niggas have probably already developed certain school systems anyway of what we could and what we should be teaching kids, to be honest. So it could happen quick. I'm not sure about that. When it comes to like how fast or slow some shit's gonna happen, I will never tell. I can never fully tell you if it's gonna be quick or not quick because that's based upon perception. It's like is it gonna happen in like 3 months? Probably not. Now would it happen in like 5 years? Maybe that could be quick to you though. You know what I'm saying? So 5 years could be quick. 10 years could be quick in comparison to 100. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it kind of gets like you know what I'm saying. You got the shadow government, deep state people who they claim are reverse engineering ET tech. Some of these black ops organizations say keep it classified because if it fell into the wrong hands. Okay, that part is a little bit true, but it's definitely distorted for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because now that like there's a real aspect to that, but nigga, some of those people are the wrong hands. So it's like they be like, keep it out the wrong hands. Bitch, you're the wrong hands. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, you know they be on some bullshit, bro. Yeah, you know what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think I have some more notes though. Yeah, memories being returned to the earth though. So be aware of that shit. When it rain, bro, you know what I'm saying? And it's all gloomy outside. Don't get upset, nigga. Take your time to sit down and reflect on what's popping up inside you right now. You know what I'm saying? I want to know about the solar flares they talk about. Is there going to be one? There's solar flares happening all the time. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be one huge ass one? There's been huge ass ones like X class is the highest solar flare. There's been like a lot of solar flares. It's been X classes. It's been X classes over the months, over the years. Like this shit has been like these solar flares have been happening for like a while, you know? And they can help to upgrade you if you utilize the light. Like if you're able to take in light, then yeah, it does benefit you. But if you can't take in light because you don't know what you're doing, then it's like, you know what I'm saying? But nah, yeah, those things do benefit us. Solar flares can benefit us because there's like an abundance of light to absorb from the sun. For sure. Um, check my notes real quick. Oh, I want to say this. So if y'all start like seeing Nagas pop, like Naga beings popping up, like the Naga snakes and whatever, if y'all see them start popping up, be aware of that. You know what I'm saying? It's not for no random reason because there's gonna be some Naga beings that make themselves a bit more known. And like a lot of like the serpentine dragon-like races, you know. I already mentioned like ancient dragon blood returning to the earth, and some of the first forms of that will be people getting some kind of contact from Naga beings and like serpentine dragon-like beings. Maybe not like the highest grand dragons, but like the Nagas and shit. They're popping up, and I was talking to them last night. Talked to them last night and this morning. So I wanted to bring that shit up too. So be aware of that for sure. But yeah, man, shit is falling apart out here, man. Damn, I just had somebody. So for the people that's booking sessions right now, like I said, I will send that email to y'all either by the end of today or tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? For sure. We need glasses like in the movie They Live. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, that'd be dope, but also we have like the thing is we have a third eye. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, even when some of these like demon people, right? Some of these demons might look beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like some of like the demon's true form, mind you, might look beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That shit not good for you. You need that high you need that higher discernment that goes beyond the form that you see. You need that shit that just pierces into the direct essence of who you are. So that way I know if at your core, if you're trying to benefit me or harm my ass. If you trying to harm me, get the fuck out of my face. You feel me? I peeped some Naga championship belts in my MMA gym and I instantly thought about Naga beings. Hey, it's actually crazy. Naga champion belts. I didn't even know that was a thing. But hey, you know what I'm saying? It's not for no reason. And it's crazy because I was just talking to Cass. Cass was talking about like these Naga champs and like this term that he used to hear, like Naga champ. Now you're saying that shit. That's pretty interesting. Mm. Holy fuck. It ain't got a jerking head on it and everything. Holy shit. That's crazy. Is there a way to interact with your subconscious to increase your awareness in your dream space? How to increase my awareness naturally? People always ask this question, bro, and it's way more simple than you might think, right? You don't got to try to reprogram your mind or no shit like that. Just be more lucid inside this everyday life. You need to do things that constantly put you in that witness awareness. The only reason that people are not lucid inside their dreams is because they're getting too attached to the character and they're getting too attached to the script of the dream. And that's a habit of being in real life, being too attached to the script of who you believe yourself to be. So the more that you become the witness, the more that you can witness your thoughts, witness your emotions, stop identifying with those things, that same awareness carries over into your dreams. It's that simple, but people do not always realize this. So you need to do things. It's not even about interacting with the subconscious. It's more about just being able to notice it inside your life every day. Because you're always having thoughts come up from the subconscious. But most people kind of just get carried by those thoughts and they identify with those thoughts. And then inside the dream, when you have your subconscious making up the dream, you identify with the dream and get lost inside the dream. You know what I'm saying? But if you can become the witness that's watching all these things happen inside of you, you start to also witness things inside your dream and say, hey, this is a dream. My third eye does work. So when it comes to the third eye, when it comes to the third eye, right, there's different aspects of it. Number one, when it comes to sight, it's not always about literally seeing forms. It's about having a direct, clear perception into a person, intuition that comes from insight, inner sight. You're seeing into something. You don't have to literally see the visual form, but you're able to actually directly pierce into a person's true intent, the intelligence behind that person, etc. Now, it can also see visual things. If you cannot see visual things, that's simply because it's not open in that way. Like all the centers that we have work, but they can work to higher extents, right? Like for example, right now, if I close my eyes, I can't see the room as clearly as I would if my eyes were open. But if my third eye was more developed, I'd be able to see things just as clear as I could with my eyes open. So if you want to like start seeing things, you'd have to open it up more to imagery. But the thing is, imagery is not always the best. It's not like the most important thing because once again, looks can be deceiving. So it's like, can you actually see a person's true intent beyond visually seeing something? Can you directly perceive it? That's the important thing. And that's what I meant by like we have a third eye to the point where that acts as our glasses, which is look at people and say, I know what this person's all about. You know what I'm saying? You just know. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to see a vision. You just understand. You just know. Are beings excited about the awakening process because it'll be like an open server and they're like our friends playing a different character? Yeah, some beings are excited in that kind of way. Yeah, that actually is not. That's actually pretty accurate. I'm gonna write that down for sure. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. You can feel their intention. Facts, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you just know. It's literally insight, inner sight. You're seeing into something. You're directly experiencing a person as they are. It's like opposed to trying to look at you and see what you're gonna do. I just become you. I just see into you by becoming you, and because I am you, I know what you want to do. Yes, intuition. Intuition comes from insight. You know what I'm saying? When you have intuition, it's because you have direct insight into something. You are directly perceiving that thing for what it is, and now you instantly know what you should do and whatnot. That's why the third eye is all about intuition and not only about seeing things. But it can see things, and if you can't see things, you just need to open it up more. But you don't need to see things though. Intuition is way more important than seeing something. Because niggas see a whole bunch of shit but don't know what the fuck they seeing. You know what I'm saying? I asked for help to get out of body last night, and there was this light being towing me as if I was going to a rope. When I saw I got started, and I said, "Oops, have a problem here. I'm dead." That's hilarious, yo. Remember, I had one time. There was one time when I was like in between sleep. I was like waking up, right? But as I'm waking up, I'm like in this space and I'm talking to a being. And she's like, "Yeah, what you want to get out of body? You can come talk to me fully right now." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do this." Nigga, once I said that shit, bitch, I dropped like, if I got this dropped. I'm like, whoa, hold the fuck up. I'm uncomfortable on my side and shit. I'm like, wait, hold the fuck up. Wait, like, no. I stopped that shit. If that happened now, I'd be fine. Cause I got nowadays I got used to like leaving my body on my side. I used to hate that shit, but now it's fine. I could leave my body if I'm fucking like these. I used to hate being uncomfortable and shit like that, but now it doesn't matter because I could just detach faster from my body. So it's not like I'm just stuck there in this. Before I would just be stuck in this uncomfortable position, like eh. But now, since I could detach from my body faster, I kind of just pop right out anyway, no matter how I'm laying. So that's been dope. That's been dope for Shelsky. For sure, for sure. Yeah, I was trying to read that. That giant. I saw something about not eating Oreos no more. LOL. Yeah, any questions y'all got to let me know, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Definitely let me know what y'all want to know. Yeah, feel me? You smell me? Well, if I'm just checking a few things real quick, so I see that there's people booking with me. I gotta see what day they booked for and stuff. Word. I bet. What do Lyrens sound like? Um, they sound like a person that talks. Like they kind of like they might make like their own cat noises. You know what I'm saying? But like when you talk to them, it's like talking to a human. You know, like they have a voice that talks in English because they're doing telepathy and stuff like that. Really, with telepathy, what's happening is that they're sending you a frequency and you're interpreting it through words and through sound, for sure. My body out of nowhere decided it didn't want to eat Oreos no more. Eating cleaner now, and it makes a big difference in meditation. Thoughts are easy to label in a way. Yeah, that's a fact, bro. A lot of food fucks with your brain, and your brain processes information. So if you're trying to meditate and you have information being processed in your brain inside of a weird way, now your mind, the shit inside your mind just becomes all weird and just be. Did you check out Disclosure Day yet? Can't remember if you mentioned if you had, and if so, what do you think? And is this the start to a bigger conversation? I have not watched it yet. I do want to watch it. I know for a fact that it's coming out to prepare people for disclosure. That's the reason why. You know what I'm saying? But the Oreos though, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was just a horrible for you though. All that sugar and then just like the added chemicals and artificial ingredients, that shit's horrible for you. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, it's definitely the start. It's preparing people for disclosure for sure. That's why it's coming out at this period of time. Because ET disclosure is just like one minor aspect, y'all know. Like there's all kinds of disclosures. You know what I'm saying? Like when I made my vid about disclosure, I think a lot of people think I was only talking about ETs, which granted I did focus on that a lot. But like that was just the vibe of all disclosure in general. You know what I'm saying? How can I align myself to hear ETs clear or talk to more ETs? Simply just reach out to them, bro. You need to learn how to first need to learn how to calm your mind and get to a point where you have pretty decent mental silence. And then you simply just set an intent to talk to an ET and see if something responds back. At first, you might not fully know what you're tapping into. You might think you're gonna make it. You might think you're making it all up, all kinds of shit like that. Over time, it gets more clear, especially if you also leave your body, because now you have beings that said, "Yeah, I was talking to you yesterday, my nigga. The fuck, nigga. I was literally just telling you in your head that you about to get out of the body, nigga. Now you're here. That was really me." It gets more clear. A good practice though would be to for the people that are on my Patreon, I made videos about how to connect with the intelligence of different planes. And it's a guided meditation that allows you to be inside certain environments and interact with zodiac symbols in a way that connects you with the intelligence of the different planes that also flow through you. Doing meditations like that can help you because at first you get used to just talking to yourself, right? It's like people, the main thing that stops people is that, what if I'm just talking to myself? Okay, well, let's do a meditation where you do talk to yourself. You just talk to different parts of yourself. As you do that, you learn how to get more into a receptive state of just listening, whether it's listening to yourself or something else, you know? So when you're talking to yourself, you also respond to yourself. You kind of feel what that feels like. It does feel like it will feel like partially that there's something separate talking to you, especially as you kind of just open up to that intelligence inside of you, because that intelligence inside of you might not be something you normally identify with. Hence, it feels separate from you, and now you start knowing what it's like to communicate with something that feels separate from you but also feels like it literally is you. When you expand that to other beings by just talking with intent, it becomes very clear when you're talking to certain beings how they talk to you, what their energy feels like, all these different kinds of things. I'm actually going to make a 1 month mentorship program that kind of goes into that. It's going to be like a 1 month mentorship program to help y'all realign with y'all spirit and talk with y'all spirit guides, talk to y'all spirit team, talk to your spirit itself. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be expensive though, not going to lie. Um, it's going to be like probably like 350. So for the ones that don't have that money, that's fine because I already gave other advice. I have a video called Growing in the Spirit on YouTube. That video, Growing in the Spirit, literally tells you how to talk to your spirit. I have a video called The Guide That Never Leaves that helps you to talk to your inner guidance system. If you start off with those small things, you can get to the big things pretty easy. But if you want my extra in-depth help, if you want my extra in-depth help and you have the money to afford it, I will be dropping a 1 month mentorship program and y'all can purchase that. But like I said, it's going to be kind of expensive. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't got the money, don't break the bank on that because you do not have to get that. That's just if you want to work with me that deeply and you can't afford it. I used to smash some Oreos, but it just will start getting to my stomach. Used to be able to throw like 20 back. Now I can't even get like five. Now that's a fact though. It's a fact. I used to love Oreos, you know what I'm saying? Chips, all kinds of stuff like that, you know? Yeah, I could not tolerate that no more. For real, it's a tragedy. That's a fact. Yeah, bro, you gotta go see it and give us a review on what you think. Spoiler enough. Yeah, bad, bro. Bad. Yeah, yeah, I definitely want to do that for sure. I do want to see it for sure. Have you ever heard of the concept about us humans being made up of various star beings for the purpose of confronting these situations or just let them be and burn themselves? I talked about in several videos how humans do have DNA from various star beings. Now, as far as it being for the purpose of confronting these situations or just let them be and burn themselves, do you mean like for the purpose of like confronting the shadow government, for the purpose of confronting like the evil powers that be? Because that's not inherently why you have the DNA, you know? Like we have the DNA of different beings because those beings just add their DNA to the planet because this planet is meant to pretty much just combine everything on one planet. Like some planets have only felines on it, some planets have only aquatic beings on it. Earth has all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's on purpose. Because Earth is like a library planet where it holds the history of all the cosmos. What is the purpose of the astral plane? To turn information into visual, to turn information into visual experience. I talked about that in several videos. That's what the astral plane does. That's why it exists. The astral plane is the plane of light. Light is what gives form to energy and consciousness so that we can actually see it. For sure. For sure, ski. Eating food is different from lucid dreaming. LOL. I meditated and talked to a headache. Fell asleep and had a past life dream. So please do talk to. Yes. Hey, that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? She talked to a headache and had a past life dream. That's amazing. So yeah. Let her be a testimony to what y'all could do also. The response is can sometimes come faster than you could think, so therefore that makes you feel like you're not making it up. Also, for me, speech patterns was indicated that I might be in context. Sorry about the grammar. I'm using push to talk. Now that's all good, but that's a fact though. Yeah, bro. Like when responses just come in quick, like you didn't have time to think about that, it kind of tells you that I'm talking to something here. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have time to just make that up. Also, when you start hearing shit that you don't want to hear, when niggas tell you to not do some shit that you want to do, it's like, damn, well, I clearly want to do this, but if something's saying don't do this, that must be something that's not me because I want to do this shit. For sure. I literally just cultivate every time. That's what's up. What template? Yeah, do you mean like what like should you use the astral plane for? Because the astral plane is not like a you should use it for this. It's just where experience takes on visual form. And within inside those visual experiences, you can do whatever you want to do, you know? Um, what template are you usually presenting as in your incarnate? Do you mean like what being? Like what being do I look like? Like what being am I being? If so, it just depends on what I'm trying to do and what I want to be. I've taken on all kinds of forms. I have a 19-year-old nephew who's depressed and showing lots of anger issues. He's telling the parents that they never used to listen to when he was younger, etc. Thoughts. Could he benefit from a reading from you? Basically, what can I do to help him? Hmm. As far as would a reading from me help him? A reading could help to understand him. Would it help him inherently? He'd have to want to help himself, essentially. He would have to want to help himself. So, like, if he was open to hearing information and then using that information in order to help himself, then yeah, that could help. It could also help in another way if you were to hear the information and then because you better understand him, you learn how to interact with him. However, when it comes to this issue right here, he and he's telling the parents that they never used to listen to him when he was younger. I would advise that you start making him feel heard right now. Like if you really want to help this person, just listen to them. Listen to what they say. Let them tell you why they're upset because they clearly feel like they haven't been listened to. So now it's time to listen to them and just kind of go from there. Listen to what they say they need and everything like that. 19 could be a weird age depending on how you expected your life to be. If you have been pressured by the world to say that when you're 19, you gotta have your own spot and you gotta have a successful job and you gotta be da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? If he's going through a lot and he's not meeting his goals that he thinks he has to meet, and he feel like his parents not listening to him, he feel like he got no one to talk to, he might be crashing out. They say suppressed anger becomes depression. They say that anger is also a secondary emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like usually you feel hurt and that's why you get angry. So in that sense, depression could also just cause anger. You know what I'm saying? Um, because you suppress anger long enough, you're gonna blow up. Usually, if you're angry, it's a secondary response. Like usually, you feel hurt because of something. Now you get angry. Something upsets you, and now you get angry. Um, have you been seeing Have you been seeing that the astral plane is getting better from the evil planet and the greater planet? when it comes to that, I think people need to understand that, my guy, there's just lower places and higher places. So, like, I don't know if I can say that because I feel like the reason why the astral plane used to be so bad is just because niggas was scared going to the astral plane. Niggas was scared going to the astral plane and then had negative experiences. I think that's all that really is. Because like lower beings will exist in their own space. You know what I'm saying? It's just that people stop interacting with those low spaces. You know? I've seen that people's experiences are getting more positive, but that's because people have different mindsets. People are knowing that they're gods, they're their ultimate authority. Nothing can harm me, nothing can whatever the fuck. Unless I believe it to be so. So because people are evolving, so are their experiences. Astral planes be unexpectedly wild. Yeah, it can be because the astral plane is not bound to time. So like information from anywhere can manifest visually depending on what you're aligned with, whether it's past, present, future. Realities start overlaying each other. Not gonna lie, I know everything in the astral plane. You definitely know more, for sure. You definitely know more. You definitely feel like just you can definitely feel like things just come to you for sure. Yeah, that's facts. My higher self or whatever I'm in communication with will tell me to pull a 180. Like right now, it will say my ass more than a few times. Yeah, it be like that, bro. When you listen, that shit be great. You like, nigga, like even it's like, nigga, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking to. Nigga, I know it's like a higher self, my spirit. I don't know, nigga, wherever the fuck this is, this shit is looking out. So I'm gonna fucking listen. I don't know if I should call this motherfucker God, call this motherfucker higher self, call it spirit, call it soul, call it spirit. I don't know what I'm gonna call this motherfucker, but this shit helping. That's how in the beginning it's like, nigga, this shit just helping. Over time, you start building more connection and relationship. You start getting certain terms you might want to use and stuff like that. But it's like if that shit helping, you just listen to that motherfucker. That's facts, bro. It's facts. Because with all the galactic wars, I wondered if a lot of star races had difficulty with evil and created a race of beings to figure this out for all the galactics that just want to be chill. I wouldn't. It's more like this. Yeah, galactic races dealt with evil, and part of the reason why we deal with evil on Earth is because we are on Earth. We relive the same things that happen in the cosmos, like racism, slavery, all that shit happened in the cosmos. Colonization that we had on Earth happened inside the cosmos also. The shit that happened as above, so below. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that happens on Earth has also happened in the heavens. And since Earth is like a library, it's holding all this information and it's manifesting it in physical form until we rise above that lower shit. So it's more like that. Depression is the worst thing ever. I could only imagine. I never been like depressed per se. I've been sad, but never like depressed. So I can only imagine being depressed. I would not want to be in that state. Could you give me advice on what to do about my ex? If I can find him alive, or is it time I give up and let go? It's hard to believe he's dead if there is nobody found. And maybe if he does die, I won't know. He was kidnapped. So I can tell me my purpose is to find and save him if possible. Um Tricky one. So I what I wouldn't do is put too much pressure on yourself to find the person. Like if you don't find him, it's not like you just failed your mission, right? It's something that it's something that you can do. Like if you learn to leave the body and then you eventually find him, you can't do that. And you can't help him. But I wouldn't put too much pressure on yourself to do that in the sense of like, if I can't do this, I failed my mission. You know, like if you really want to do that, go ahead. But you need to kind of do it from a place of acceptance of what you might find out. You need to accept that you might not be able to find him. You need to accept that you might find him and that he's unalived. You might need to accept that you'll find him, but you might need to accept that you find him out of your body, but you can't get him back physically. Like you'd have to accept all possibilities and then act from that kind of a state to really properly navigate the situation. I'm not trying to just say let go and just like whatever the heck, but like there is a sense of detachment that should be had to just navigate this reality in a healthy way, you know? And I was like even when it comes to like horrible things like that happening to a person, understand that at the end of the day, people are going to always return back to their most divine state. And when they do that, it's gonna feel like no time has went by at all. So even if a person is going through a reincarnation trap and shit like that, when they stop that trap, quote unquote, they're gonna return back to their divinity as if nothing ever happened. So I'm saying this because even when it comes to that ex-boyfriend that is missing, even if he does get unalived and he passes away, at some point he's going to return to his most divine state and he's going to be fine with what happened. He might have to go through different things at first to reach that, but it's guaranteed that they're going to reach that. And it's gonna happen in no time. By the time you pass away, he'll be good. You know what I'm saying? Because on the other side, there is no real sense of time. So what could have felt like 10,000 years for him and 2,000 years for you, once you guys are back on the other side, quote unquote, it's like no time passed at all. So I say that so that way you had peace in the fact that at the end of the day, he will be fine for sure. If you want to try to find him, go ahead, but don't be upset if you can't. Is there a meaning to the colors of the light body? I got out and my light body was orange. Any meaning slash implications or things to learn from that? You should uh, understand what certain colors mean to you specifically, because different colors might mean different things. But every oh my god, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you for real. Everybody that super chats, yo, I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? It really does help out the channel. Really does keep the channel going and everything. So if y'all ever feel generous and y'all have the money to do it, I appreciate all the donations. If y'all can't donate, that's fine. If y'all need some money, I recommend getting my free ebook that's called Value Creates Money, because it's a free ebook that can help you to make some money. Yo, what's good, Keon? What's popping? Yo, what's good? Yo, what's popping? What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? Um, yeah, it's been word the angelic realm. Yes, it has been for sure. Yeah, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? There's Maddox pulling up right now. Yo, what's good with y'all, bro? There was 42 people inside here right now. Holy shit! What's good with y'all, gang? Yeah, we growing over here. But yeah, the Betcha Light Body. Yeah, find out what certain colors mean for you. Like, if I were to leave my body and I saw that my body looked yellow, I would know that this means that I'm expressing a certain kind of energy. Now, what kind of energy? Whatever orange means to you is that kind of energy. What you could do is kind of just meditate on different colors and see how it feels inside of you. And then based upon that feeling, you understand how you resonate with different colors on the light spectrum. And now you understand what kind of energy every single color has. So if you leave your body and you're like a certain kind of color, that means that you are expressing that kind of energy and that your body is currently made of that kind of energy. You see? Over time, like it's cool to be in that state, but you can also just bring more light into the body and bring more awareness into your light body and make it become like your regular physical body. Yo, what's today's topic? Today's topic is how the matrix is falling apart. We already talked pretty much about that. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much talked about that and the main things I had to say. You know what I'm saying? That was today's topic, you know. Can I convince a higher being to manifest in my room? Do you mean like physically? Maybe, but you also need to be able to perceive them. Some beings, the lowest they'll go is like a light-based form that you can only see if you can perceive that far to the light spectrum. I'm a martial artist in every plane. LOL. Technically, in higher planes, you're nothing. You know, like if you're in plane 11, you're just nothing in everything. You know what I'm saying? Um, but nah, I feel you though. Yeah, there's been war in the angelic realm for sure. Is there something deeper about the dark, like the fact that we get more fearful at night? I mean, beyond the obvious of like visions at night, so I'm feeling there's something deeper at play. People just okay. Actually, there is. So people. All right, I'll just say this at first. People fear the unknown, so when it's dark, they get scared. Now there is a little bit something deeper, but don't let this scare you because if you have fear around this shit, you're going to manifest bullshit inside of your space. So when it's light outside, you actually have light that's filling up the space. Because there's light filling up the space, certain things cannot come through as easy because the space is being blocked by light. Now, when there's no light, the space is open for different things to come through, good and bad. You see? And if you're scared, you're going to bring bad things into that reality. Yo, is that another super chat? My guy Keon, bro. Yo, I appreciate you, bro. Man, y'all, man, look, look. You know what I'm saying? Whenever someone donates, bro, I be feeling so appreciative, bro. Like I don't know. Like I wish I could put the feeling that's in my body and put that inside of y'all body. Cause I really appreciate y'all support, bro. Like doing YouTube and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm really happy that like I'm able to make this into like more of like a career and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But it's only possible because y'all support me so much and everything like that, you know? So I appreciate y'all. Bro, you give us value. This just a store value return. Appreciate you, man. And hey, for the ones that for the ones that don't got money like that, I'm telling y'all, man, get the free ebook. Value creates money. Right now, my boy Keon just displayed the principle in real time. He was like, bro, you give us value, this chest a store of value in return. You know, that's what the book teaches about how to use your value to generate value in return. So I appreciate you, bro, for real. You know what I'm saying? No cap, bro. I really do appreciate you, bro. Um, but yeah, with this, that's what it is, bro. Um, that's what it like. If you're fearful and it's nighttime, more things could come into the space that make you feel fear, right? But that doesn't mean like you should be like, don't start becoming fearful of fear. Like the same way that negative shit might come in, you could also bring in positive shit. You start thinking benevolent thoughts, you start inviting benevolent shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Is that another super chat? Yo, y'all, man, why y'all, why y'all, why y'all blessing me so much, man? Y'all blessing me right now. Y'all blessing me right now. I appreciate y'all for real. What is value? Value. Okay, so really, okay, so I'll answer this in two different ways. People kind of determine the value of something, right? What you think is valuable might not be valuable to something else. Essentially, value is just something which benefits you. You pay for things that benefit you to some degree. Even when people pay for junk food, it benefits their taste buds. It tastes good, right? So they pay for that. You pay for things that benefit you. When you work at a job, you benefit the company, so they pay you. You see, you're providing value. You're providing something which benefits the person. So, with that being said, value is just something which could benefit somebody. And if you benefit other people, people will start feeling inclined to benefit you back. And they'll either do things for you or they'll pay you money, like people are doing inside of here. And I appreciate y'all so much for that, you know? Oh my God, y'all. I thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Yo, when I get off of this joint, bro, I might have to do like a prayer for the world or something. Like I gotta like although like I'm trying to provide value in this video, I gotta go even harder. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go even harder now. Like y'all blessing me, bro. Y'all blessing me. I appreciate y'all for real. For real, for real. Appreciate y'all. Um, so yeah, I hope that answered your question though, bro. The night isn't easy to wake up from. You mean like your sleep at nighttime so you can't wake up? Is that what you mean? The title, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. My color was all white. I was going white. That happens for sure. Be on some pure stuff. You be pure light. You're like, nah, you're like, yo, forget condensing this light into a dense form. I'm trying to be pure light. Like, cause you can change your density out of body. People act like some, oh my. I see another don't let me. I love y'all too. I love y'all too. I love y'all too. I really do. I really do appreciate y'all. I really do care about y'all. I really do value every single one of you. Even the ones that can't donate, just y'all being here, I appreciate you. For the ones that's watching the replay back, you couldn't be here live. I appreciate you. Y'all simply just liking the video, hyping up. I appreciate y'all, bro. So when y'all do extra stuff like this, it's like, dang, bro. Like I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta find something to just put out even more of. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But yeah, some people act like when you leave your body, it's all airy fairy, right? And other ones act like it's always super solid. It's like it can be both. It can be super solid. It could be very light and very subtle. Just depends on how dense you make yourself. That's kind of what it means to have ultimate freedom of expression. You can express yourself however you want to in a dense form, in a subtle form. People forget that sometimes, it seems like. For sure. I got to dip out. My brother Darius having an OB rush. I'm sure it's no new info, but I paid for good money for access. Like that's what you talking about. No, for sure, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Darius, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing, and I respect everybody who's trying to just help people, for sure. Peace and infinite gratitude, my bro. See you tomorrow in school. Yeah, for ones that don't know, in the school we're doing a live class about about the light body, the mind, and the soul, and how they're connected. Like a lot of y'all who watch my videos have likely saw where's the chart at? You guys have likely saw this chart. Let me take the chat down real quick. You've likely seen this chart, you know what I'm saying, with the body, soul, spirit, planes 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. So last week I broke down in the school um number 1 through 3, like physical body, etheric body, astral body. Now we're doing astral body, mind, and soul, and how they're all connected. So for those y'all inside the school, tune into that. If you're not in the school, it's all good. If you're inside Patreon, I'm gonna upload a pre-recorded video to the Patreon about the soul, mind, and light body. So if you're only in Patreon, you'll still get some sauce for sure that deals with that. It just won't be a live class for sure. What about if I come out my body and look like a white cosmos? That yeah, you could when you leave your body, you could look however you want to look. And the thing is, the way that you look is an expression of your soul. Your soul wants to express itself a certain kind of way. One way that it chooses might be a white cosmos to symbolize something. It might symbolize that you understand that you have a cosmos inside of yourself and you choose a form that reflects that. You see? I am, bro. I appreciate all y'all, bro. One mistrust. Yeah, that's a fact. That really is a fact. This is like people hear this statement. This shit is such a fact. Just like we descend into forgetfulness, is source almost too high to exist on? So being a connect. Okay. This question's weird because it's almost as if you're seeing source as like a being that's too high. Right now, you're inside. Right now, you are source. You are source descending. Like source isn't too high to quote unquote exist on. Like you don't really exist on source because you are that. Like it's like when it comes to you, it's like you don't exist in your soul. You are your soul. You don't, like you know what I'm trying to say? It's like you just exist. Like source simply just exists. And part of source's existence can manifest in this way right here. So it's like you can exist as source right now. You can choose that right now. You can choose to be fully with source, or you could choose to be aware of source in the physical plane. But it's not like source is too high to exist on, and then because of that, beings incarnate to create balance. Like that's not really how that works. People incarnate for experience. Source wants to experience itself in various different ways, and we are that source that wants to experience itself in many different ways. Therefore, we incarnate in different experiences to experience that experience. My color was mostly orange, yellow, and some that looks like orange also. That's what's up though. People can be frauds. Yes, people can be frauds. I'm gonna give myself fair wings. Then it's yeah. Do that. You know what I'm saying? And things if you always wanted fairy wings, you probably were a fairy before. You was probably a fairy before. You know what I'm saying? So really, you giving yourself fairy wings, you just tapping into a past life form of yourself, probably. You know what I'm saying? Some non-dualists say that free will doesn't actually exist. I mean, it just depends on how you're defining certain things. Like, yeah, from a non-dual perspective, you know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as free will, or but there's also not such thing as like not having free will. Because like in order to not have free will, that means that free will has to exist. But those are dualistic principles: free will and no free will. If you have a non-dualist perspective, you don't even think about that. In fact, you actually stop thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're like an act like niggas, let's say I'm a non-dualist, but they talking dualism. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had somebody in my Astral Mastery Telegram, they were asking me, they were like, yo, some non-dualists say that astral projection. Actually, let me just read it out loud. You know what I'm saying? This was a good question. I like this question. Yo, I see that somebody downloaded the free ebook. Yeah, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go cop that if you want to go cop that. Let me check the actual thing that the person said real quick though. I think it was a good question. You know what I'm saying? It says, hey, Genie Dot, some think that astral projection is just a distraction and the real pursuit is non dual awareness and the end of suffering. I'm curious as to your thoughts. I'm like, okay, so this concept of the real pursuit. If you're a non-dualist, there is no pursuit because a pursuit implies that there's something to pursue. If you are pursuing something, that means that there is something. There is another thing. So there's you and something else. There's two things, and you are pursuing that thing. So having a real pursuit as a non-dualist literally makes no sense. At that point, you're not a non-dualist. You know what I'm saying? Because hold up. My fault. I seen a message that I replied to after this. But mm, yeah, there's no thing as a like if you're a non-dualist, there is no pursuit. Everything chest is at that point. Like they're like you like anything outside of everything chest is all that everything outside of that is dealing with dualistic thinking. So it's like, yeah, that should never make no goddamn sense when niggas do that. Like people love saying I'm a non-dualist, but always act from dualism. That should be weird as fuck. People just like to sound enlightened. Like I'm a non-dualist and I know the truth. You know what I'm saying? When you're a non-dualist, there's no such thing as truth and illusion. Everything just is. Illusions become true and truth becomes an illusion when you're a non-dualist. That's a fact. Good point. How to know your existence? My fault. I think I got some. I think a piece of hair hit my eye. Watch what is death? Watch my video about it. I talked all about death. You're going to watch the video about it. Look up genie.death. Death is an illusion. You know what I'm saying? To keep it simple, death is just the withdrawal of life force from the physical body. And then you transition to another plane. But I made a video called Death. I made a video called Death is an Illusion. Look up genie.death is an illusion. You know what I'm saying? But as far as how to know your existence. So I guess that partially depends on what you define as your existence. But to keep it simple, I probably hold on, I gotta fucking wipe my eye, gang. My fault, I'll be right. My fucking eye burning like a bitch right now. The fuck? I'm coming back. Y'all can hear me, gang? Y'all can hear me, gang? I'm coming back, yo. Y'all can hear me? I'm about to come back, gang. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, yo, we back. My fault, y'all. My fault, y'all. How your resistance? Honestly, okay. So the way that I would answer, you just have to experience it, bro. Like you have to really just experience it. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that you can try to study certain things, all that you can intellectually understand it, right? But to truly know your existence, you have to just directly perceive it through experience, like through meditation, for example. Like you have to just experience it truly. Just exist as existence. You have to exist as what you actually are to understand yourself. You just be you need to literally just be yourself and sit inside of yourself. This could be like a interesting question because how would one define their existence, you know? What's been your main focus recently? Existing. Genuinely just existing and just following what feels right for me to do, you know? Like dead ass. Like I don't have like a main goal. Like I have certain things I wanted. I've been working on the Astral Mastery course that's gonna be dropping. It's already out, but like the update's gonna drop in 2 days. Which, by the way, when I drop the update, the price of the course will go up. So if you guys want to get the course at the price which is currently at, you're gonna have to get it either like now or tomorrow because the price will go up on the 21st. You know what I'm saying? But when it goes up, it's still gonna be like it's gonna like right now it's like 85. It's gonna be 125. Like 125 is still pretty cheap in my opinion. Plus, I'll likely drop discount codes at some point later in the year. So if you can't get it now, that's fine. Like there's no pressure at all. I have several videos on YouTube which can help you, and there's several videos on YouTube that can literally teach you to leave your body without my help. But if you guys want my course specifically, now would probably be the best time to do it since the price is about to go up. For the ones that already have the course, you're fine. If you have the course now, you get all future updates for free. And there will be a lot of updates to that course. So it's always going to be, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to be updated. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Um, death is powerful. If you believe in death, yeah, I don't even believe in like death isn't even like real. And like how I view like that shit's not real. You know what I'm saying? But but nah, I do get it though. You know what I'm saying? Like depending on, your views of death and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? It can be a very amazing thing because sometimes you need to bring death to certain things or just withdraw your life from certain things. But those things were never alive. You were just giving life to something. But that thing wasn't alive itself. Therefore, if that thing was never alive, it can't even die. When it comes to the Matrix falling, what do you see happening? Is life really going to get better on this planet? Is the question really going to go? So, in the beginning of the video, I said what is going to look like, which is going to be number one, people creating their own realities separate from the system. Number two, collective awakening leading to collective disclosure. So, is life going to get better on this planet? Yeah, but it starts with you. It starts with you making your own life better and other people choosing to individually make their lives better. That is what leads to life on the planet at large to get better because multiple individuals are doing things to make their lives better. And as those individuals collaborate, they can make greater change in the world at large. Is sadism because of reptilian DNA? I wouldn't even fully say that. It's just the human nature, bro. Sadism is just it's just something that happens as a result of attachment, really. Attachment in certain ways can eventually lead to sadism. When I say attachment, like attachment to the mind and stuff like that. Like if you like sadistic people, they're just very attached to like their lower animalistic nature. You know what I'm saying? and they have like some sick way of like getting enjoyment from harming people. Like understand that reptilians themselves are not like the source of sadism. No, attachment to the character is. Whether it's reptilian attaching to their animalistic ways or if it's a human attaching to their animalistic ways. You ever seen the beings with halos around their heads and wrists that have wings and sing in the void to the light of all? Had a OBE, I was there with them, like when we sang The Light Is. I've never experienced that, but that shit sounds cool as fuck. That shit sounds cool as hell, my guy. I got the best haircut in the plane, lol. Do you practice any systems of magic? I practice dragon magic. You know what I'm saying? Technically, whenever you mix your intention and your will to manifest something that's magic, a mixture of your intention and will creates magic. But in a more specific way, yeah, I do practice dragon magic. Fashelsky, which is like a form of elemental magic, specifically harnessed from dragons. You know what I'm saying? Um Are some beings just nonchalant? Like if something happens, they're like it is what it is, or they're a bit more proactive. Yeah, some beings don't care about what the fuck happens at all. Some don't care, but they still want to make things go better. Like when you get like enlightened per se, like you don't. It's like you have a sense of like if things go bad, it is what it is. But I'm still going to try to make sure that things don't go bad. You know what I'm saying? Others just say if shit goes bad, that's cool, but I'm not gonna try to make it go bad or go good. I'm just gonna watch this shit happen. No stranger has ever approached me. Who's the most evil person you faced? Like I said, I guess the better question would be like, what's the most evil being I faced? Because I wouldn't like know like a person's name, right? Like the most evil being I faced, probably myself. And what I mean is when I say myself, I mean that aspect of human that aspect of consciousness that operates from fear and attachment. And because of this, it's prone to do malevolent shit. You know what I'm saying? I had to face that inside of myself. Like, not that I wanted to do evil shit, but I had to look at the fact that the reason why humans do evil shit is because evil is a potential that does exist inside of everybody. Not everybody is evil, but everybody has the potential to be evil. So, if you really want to understand evil and overcome evil, you got to face that inside yourself for sure. Why are some beings obsessed with you looking in a mirror? Like, you mean like a being, they're like, oh my God, I hope they look inside the mirror. Likely because that being wants attention and the mirror can be used as a portal for you to see them. So they get really excited for you to give them attention. That's how I would say that. For showski. What they say in Texas for shit show. You know what I'm saying? My boy, Fourth, I be saying that. I be saying a lot of Texans be saying that for sure. For sure. Jeannie, what is your take on potential cataclysms coming within the next 10? You mean like environmental shit? Um, I don't really have a take on it. Like, I'm not really like, oh, I think it's gonna happen or not happen. I think it just depends on how the collective awakens. Like if humans just keep on doing some fuck shit, there likely will be a cataclysm. You know what I'm saying? If we don't do no fuck shit, that's not gonna be. The way I'm gonna live my life is I'm gonna live a life that is aligned with not having a cataclysm. And hopefully the shit that I do, along with the shit that other people do, hopefully that allows us to not go through no bullshit like that. You know what I'm saying? Have beings ever froze time for you and manipulated you into parallel times where things are ever so slightly different, but no one else perceived it? Do you mean like while being awake? Definitely not that. I never had a being freeze time for me while I'm awake. Now, out of my body, I've frozen time myself. I don't, has a being froze the time per se? Like the way you're describing this never happened. Like a being just froze time and then put me in a parallel timeline. Like, nah, that's never happened. You know what I'm saying? I've went to alternate timelines and I have frozen time, but like I never like had time get frozen, got pushed into some other bullshit. Yes, agreed. Everyone should be on that timeline. Yeah. We definitely agree right there for sure. I'm obsessed with how liberals lied about sadism. I know it sounds crazy, but I didn't understand human culture for many years because they want everyone to be equal. They cause so much trauma. Yeah, liberals and Republicans can both be evil bastards. Hillary Clinton was drinking them baby brains. Which I gotta stop saying they gonna yellow mark this video, ain't they? I gotta be careful, don't I? Yo, what's good, Lil Daryl? What's good, Lil Daryl? You know what I'm saying? Being evil is not something to debate about. Yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying? It's like niggas not gonna be evil over here. Do beings who have never experienced this creation before act differently to beings who have experienced it? Like, can you tell when a being actually, yeah. Or can you tell it being can you tell I didn't read this last part fully. Like, can you tell when a being outside of here has been a human or ET before? You can tell when someone's been inside you can tell when someone's incarnated into physical reality. You could tell. You could tell. Certain beings, certain shit, there's ETs that will treat you different as a result of being a human on Earth. They'll be like, yo, you've been a human on Earth. That shit crazy as fuck. I'd never do that shit. And it's like, nigga, you're nigga, it's like you're with ETs, you're barely that different in comparison to other beings. Nigga, we're damn near twins. And the ET is all like, I would never be a human. Fuck is you talking about? A human, bitch? Yeah, no. No. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. You people can typically tell when you have been a human before, and they typically have a sense of respect for you. Yeah, while I was awake, we often see beings. And once I was chilling and saw a portal open up, and these three Anunnaki beings came through. Raise your hands, time frozen. Everything shifted. When I talked to people about memories we shared after that, people would be like, "They never happened." I've recorded and I have it. That's crazy, bro. Not go that shit. I'd be like, nigga, what the fuck, nigga, in the physical too. You just chilling and shit. Big ass Anunnakis come out freeze time. What the fuck? That shit. Wow, bro. Have you? No, I have not. I haven't. I haven't even decided on my next incarnation. You know what I'm saying? Every individual is different by everything. Every individual is the same infinite potential that is choosing to express itself in different ways. So the origins of who we are is exactly the same, but the way we choose to express those origins, those are completely unique for sure. We fucking crazy. LOL. I work with I work with demons, Vedic gods, angels, and practice some Sufism. I personally have gotten better at using my energy for healing physical wounds when tested. Why you work with demons though? Why the fuck you do that? Why you do that? Why'd you do that? About working with demons over here? Now hold up. Let me backtrack though, because you mentioned Vedic gods and angels and shit like that. What is your definition of a demon? Maybe the demons are cool. Fuck that. Fuck out of here. Now, but what's your definition of demon though? Because the way that I define demon is an evil being, a being that seeks to harm you. I would never work with no goddamn demon a day in my fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people define demons differently because they show me my shadow and void state. New life tools? People have mentioned new life tools before. I think I've seen that nigga before on my YouTube. Nigga, but okay, hold up. No. This is serious though. Are you talking about literal demonic evil beings, or do you mean like demonic archetypes that exist inside human consciousness? A being of non-dualism is a day. Okay, so your definition of demon is completely different from the okay. So let's do some this is why defining words is super important, right? Right? Because let's just look up something real quick. Okay. All right. All right. Let's just do some research, okay? Because your demon is different from how I define. See, I define demon by how it's defined nowadays. A demon is a malevolent, supernatural spirit or entity, right? It's a motherfucker that's evil. But are you referring because some people like you do have like with the clip off, right? The tree of death. They have different demonic archetypes, which are pretty much just things that exist in your own consciousness, right? Like that'd be like, for example, there's a deity, his name is Set in Egypt. Set is like the Egyptian version of Satan. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be like, oh my, I think that Yahweh is this, I think that Yahweh is that. Nigga, Yahweh is your lower self. You know what I'm saying? And working with your lower self can't help you. You know what I'm saying? So if you mean it like that, I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? You could work with certain demonic archetypes of human consciousness for the sake of purifying yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now let me put a chat because I see something in the chat that makes that makes a bit more sense. So you said a daemon. Okay, so that I feel you. A daemon, cool. All right. Because a daemon's just a lesser spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like technically, even a fairy might be considered a daemon. You know what I'm saying? A nature spirit could be considered a daemon. So that I'm not mad at. All right. I wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't have been mad at the evil shit. I just couldn't fuck with you. But nah, if you're not fucking with evil motherfuckers, bro, I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. We could still fuck with each other for sure. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what you did, I would have had to ban you though. But since you're not fucking with no evil people, that's cool. Like a daemon, that's cool. I know what because that's a bit different. You know what I'm saying? Daemon did become demon. You know what I'm saying? But daemon has a whole different connotation. Daemon just means like a lesser spirit. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a nature spirit, fairy, some other shit. So that's cool. That's cool. Um, how can I or spirituality help somebody who's schizophrenic? Like, how can someone leverage OBE to say, well, okay, first things first, don't automatically loop in spirituality with OBEs. OBEs are not inherently spiritual. That's why you have evil people that are not of the spirit, but they can still leave their body. Spirituality, actual spirituality, can help a schizo person because it can help a person to realize what's actually them versus what is not them. And they learn to get control over their mind and what comes into their mind if they actually get in tune with their spirit. Now, with an OBE could help in the sense that you might be able to see certain beings that are existing around a person, which are causing them to be schizo. Now, some people are just schizo because of like fucking brain chemical shit. And those people usually got to fix their brain chemicals, my nigga. Or they could become spiritual too, and that could also help with the spiritual shit too. How do progress mentally through shadow work? You simply just need to. So when doing shadow work is the process of working on your shadow. You're looking at hidden parts of yourself that you typically ignore, and then you're choosing to work on those parts of yourself, right? Seeing your shadow doesn't even mean having to see bad parts of yourself. Some people are actually very nice people, but they put that in the shadow because they were hurt when they were a nice person. So now they stopped being nice and they built like a bad boy persona. And now inside their shadow is their nice side. So really your shadow just holds what you don't want to look at. So the way you progress is by looking at that and accepting that and working through that. They just are. Word. When I was 15 too, I had this being follow me around in broad daylight. Once it gave me a red blotch on my skin, and I showed my friend, and he was like, "What the fuck? Where that come from? Look like blasphemy with yellow eyes." The fuck? The fuck? What the fuck was that? Okay, I get what you're saying, but I do summon demons purified. I hold up. Now you. If you're talking about being scared, no order, then no. Hold up, because now we walking that tightrope again, my nigga. Hold up. Okay, so we already established that the way that you define demons is different. So by your definition, cool. But like, as long as you not summoning no evil motherfuckers, we can still be friends. You know what I'm saying? Now, even if you was summoning evil people, I still love you. We just couldn't be friends. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you're not summoning no evil beings, cool. Only being okay. Look, here's how we define an evil being. Does that motherfucker want to harm people or not? All right, let's keep it simple. How to become evil? To be evil just means that you seek to harm somebody. You want to harm people. So the demons are cool. Not gonna lie, I might have to just I'm about to mute certain chats because we're not about to spread this agenda that demons are cool. Okay, let's not do that. I'm gonna need y'all to chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill the fuck out. All right. I gotta chill y'all ass out. This shit not funny, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Cause y'all motherfuckers that had niggas watch this live and think that, oh, demons are cool. I'm gonna start summoning these evil ass beings. So I'm gonna need y'all to chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? But as far as this shit, nigga, I don't know what the fuck you into. As long, like I said, as long as niggas not trying to summon no evil ass people, then cool. But if you are summoning evil beings, I can't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And the way we define evil is that a being that wants to harm you. If you are summoning beings that want to harm you, niggas not being friends. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Um, yeah. Yeah, what's popping, Bob? What's popping? Here we go. Wait, I boom, but yeah, a demon has to feed on others that are being created towards growth. Yeah, yeah, like evil spirits, they do have to do that because they're shut off from the source, so they're constantly in a state of dying, and they get their energy from people. If you're talking about, yeah, I already read that. Could you associate a demon or evil being with just being a child in pain, getting help? Hey, no. I mean, maybe, but no. Um, niggas, evil beings are ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And it can be said that they are in pain. But like, don't start being like, oh, this demon, he's so sad. I'm just gonna help him get and then get your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? You can't show love to evil beings and that can affect them. But sometimes they'll just run away. Niggas don't want to be healed by you. Sometimes you try that love shit and they'll try to beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? We gotta whip that ass back sometime. Imagine somebody on you punching on your ass, whooping your fucking ass, and you saying, I love you. You're just a child in pain. I love you. All right, you go ahead and get your ass beat. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking that nigga up. Y'all niggas wilding out here. You cannot help everybody. That's a fact. Jeannie, you are so wise. Is it through cultivating so much? Not inherently. It's from just tapping in with my spirit, you know? Like, that's really what it's like. OBEs just confirm shit that I already believe to be true. I guess that's not fully true because I did see shit where I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy. So I can't fully say that. But like, the wisdom is really just like tapping into my soul and my spirit. I said, yeah, but it says me on the chat. How? Yeah, that should be weird, bro. I hear a lot about working with the shaman Goetic to invoke parts of your consciousness. Yeah, that is a thing where you invoke like the Goetic demon shits. I'm not doing that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And yes, some of that shit does just deal with lower parts of your human consciousness. The furthest I'm gonna go is just work. Like if I'm gonna work with a deity or some shit, I'm gonna work with Set, right? The lower self. And because Set already contains all the lower parts, like it contains all the anger, pride, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be out here summoning fucking demons for anger, demons for sadness, demons for this. It's like y'all niggas, if that's what the fuck you need to do, cool. If you're not hurting nobody, cool. But don't bring that shit inside. Now let me scroll down. Because if I see more demon talk inside this bitch, I'm gonna start muting niggas. You know what I'm saying? All right, okay. I see that shit look cool down here so far. So, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because although I'm not gonna mute, bro, right here, you feel me? Niggas start taking this shit the wrong way, I will be banning niggas Fuck is you talking about? Because we not about to have niggas who, because some niggas might watch this shit and they new to spirituality, they new to this shit. They say, oh, niggas some demons, that shit cool. No, no. Fuck you talking about? No. You know what I'm saying? Um, are some being scared? Yes, they are. Some beings will never do this shit. Spanish overriding, lol. Only being I consider pure evil are skinwalkers. I felt with the jinn and all, but you have to first go to the kings personally. I just see that people or. If a motherfucker's evil, it means they want to hurt people. That's like, let's just keep it simple. Yeah, niggas is I don't know what's going on, bro. For evolution, not for real, for real. Some demons is crazy. It is not for everyone. No, yeah, no, those some demons, but they bring shadow experiences. Whatever you mean by that word. Um, Yeah, tweaking. Now, I say these stories to say that we can interact with the other side here. Yes, for sure. When I had COVID, they gave me the ability to talk to angels right here. Yeah, 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 for sure. The thing is, like, yeah, I talk to beings in the physical all the time. Like, although I can't see them in front of my face like they're physical, that telepathy be crazy. And I can see, I can also see them inside my mind's eye. So as long as the interdimensional being isn't sadistic or misaligned, then they'd cool. I don't know how interdimensional beings work. Yeah, bro. Listen, as long like listen, once again, like, can we please just keep it simple? Let's just keep it simple. If a motherfucker doesn't want to hurt you, cool. You know what I'm saying? If like now the thing is still have discernment because niggas because it could be a being that genuinely wants to help you, but they just end up misleading you because they thought they were doing the right thing when they aren't doing the right thing. Like there's many people in real life that try to do the right thing and end up harming people. Those people are not evil. They were just misinformed. Like if I harm somebody, I wasn't trying to do that. Nigga, I might be clumsy, I might make mistakes, but I'm not fucking evil. But like as long as a being is not trying to harm you, they're not evil. Okay. If niggas are not, let's make that really clear one more time, right? An evil being is a being that wants to harm you. If a being wants to harm you, that being is evil. If the being is not trying to harm you, it's not evil. That doesn't mean that it might not harm you, though. If it does harm you, it was just an accident. They were just misinformed. They just misguided you on accident. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Your opinion on palm readings. Before I was born, a man read my mom's palm and said she was going to have a baby girl. She thought he was a fraud because she didn't plan to have more kids, but then she had me. LOL. Honestly, I don't know much about palm reading, but I think it could be accurate. You know what I'm saying? Raziel and Archangel Michael are a lot more dark than they let off. By the word, yeah, yeah, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Just we let's just end it right here. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, what do you even like the word dark? People, if niggas think that dark means anything evil or dense, niggas got it all fucked up. Dark has nothing to do with evil shit at all. Just because something is dark doesn't make it evil. You know what I'm saying? If something is dark, it's just very introspective. Like when your eyes are closed, it gets dark because you are going inside of yourself, right? Black holes, what do black holes do? They suck in light, they go in. Like light projects outward. So light is projecting, um, and darkness is introspective. Okay. Now, when niggas start saying like this being is dark because they're aggressive or evil, like niggas don't even be understand light and dark to begin with. You know what I'm saying? And I'd rather not even go into this shit. Like we're done with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like bro said right here, you're saying evil, not me. My point is, but it's like we're saying that Archangel Michael and are more dark than they let off. It's like, what do you mean by dark though? You know what I'm saying? And I don't actually want you to answer. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying just be quiet for sure. Be quiet. And angels can be evil though, yes. And Archangel Michael and Raziel aren't even like beings how people think they are. They're more like principles. But anyway, um, yeah, let's just end that conversation, or else niggas will have to start. You know what I'm saying? Bro, people be asking me, can I put my the body, bro? I'm not gonna lie, like maybe some years in the future, but right now, bro, that's probably not gonna happen. Um, Another example is I met Anthony who gave me his friendship. Anything's possible. That's fire, bro. I'm higher being. Word. The part of chaos magic, which they even say you don't know how it's that energy gonna come back to you. Word. Being a shaman sometimes can be the worst thing. Depends how you define a shaman, I guess. Is meditation the only way to tap into spirit? So when talking about meditation, how it's defined in the East, meditation is the literal state of being tapped in with yourself. Then you have meditative practices that get you into a state of meditation. So there are many things you can do to get you into a state of meditation. But to keep it simple, the basic premise of tapping into your spirit is simply just observing yourself. In order to tap into your spirit, you need to observe your spirit. You see? Yo, what's popping, bro? I feel like one's primordial sovereign energy can slash could be seen as Set or any of the other deities. Um, Okay, so when it comes to deities, right, it's actually not hard to understand them since oftentimes they tell you what they are. Set is your lower self, it's your lower animalistic nature. Okay, Heru is your higher self. Like you don't have to make it like when you say like one's primordial sovereign energy, you start adding terms that make this shit mad confusing a little bit. It's like let's just keep it simple. Set, lower self, right? Heru, higher self, right? Osiris, your soul. You like just keep it a bit more simple. I can destroy one is a threat. Who is a threat? You can sound Tigma as angels Razio. If you're a seasoned traveler, you should be able to see through a demon. Yeah, that's a fact. I know this might be easy for you, but how can a newbie understand that a being is evil? Um, Okay, so put like so in real life, right? When people hide their intention, if you have decent discernment, you can tell that there's something off about a person. That off feeling is way more heightened out of your body. Like you just need to use discernment, you know? Even ask it questions to see how it responds. You know what I'm saying? Even if it tries to hide its intentions, you should be able to. Yes, that's a fact. You're saying evil, not me. You can when else you can use them for necromancy, etc. You're right. What the fuck you doing necromancy now? All right, let's let's just end that topic. Um, can beings die in the other realms 1 through 4, and then on fifth on it's more spirit based, so you can't be killed? I've heard nothing could touch your soul exclusive, so no. It's a good question. I there's probably I think that all the beings in creation have some form of death, right? Like every how can I put this? So the way, like, once again, death isn't even a real thing. Like when someone dies, they're just withdrawing life force energy from this body and from this vehicle. All these other beings and all these other realms and whatever the fuck, these are just different characters, different bodies, which you can choose to withdraw your awareness from. Like you can choose to be an alien, then stop being an alien, right? When you stop being an alien, you died, you know? Um, so that's still a thing on higher realms and shit. You know, some beings choose to be gods, then stop being gods. Some choose to be angels, and stop being angels. You know what I'm saying? Genie think we all mad. LOL. Do you know where I went when I overdosed on ketamine and experienced being lost as a humanoid in a very long lifetime as an image of being a light in the fractal world? Yo, the fractal world shits be cool as fuck. I don't know if y'all noticed, but Ryan Cropper got like lifetimes as being like as like a dimensional being or whatnot. He talked about it. He talked about it in certain videos, and I've seen beings like that. But I don't know where he could have been at. It depends on like because humanoids exist in various different places. You know what I'm saying? So like off of this very vague description, it'd be hard to say where you were. I don't. I don't. I doubt he thinks we mad. Just doesn't really want others to have influence that he doesn't desire to put out through his work. Yes, that part. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't want to get into certain topics because I don't need newbies thinking some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? What you do at your crib is cool, but if I don't like that shit, or even if it's not inherently bad, if the way someone is saying something just can throw people off, I gotta step in because this is my platform. On your platform, do your own shit. Like if niggas, because niggas got their platforms on YouTube, sharing all kinds of shit that I might not agree with. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But on my platform, I'm the controller of this shit. I'm the controller of this kingdom. LOL. I want to connect to Christ's energy. If you want to do that, then just start knowing yourself more. For sure. Yeah, I figured that was a joke. You know what I'm saying? I figured that was a joke, bro. They don't. I saw other individuals dying. Yeah, you saw them passing, you could say. I wouldn't say death because once again, like this body isn't alive. You know what I'm saying? You give life to the body. You're animating a body that's not alive at all, and you always stay alive after the body is discarded. Does the amnesia effect start when you incarnate, or is it something that happens as you descend to this creation? That's a good question. I know for a fact when you enter into the womb, there's like a big amnesia. Like being born through a womb is one of the biggest reasons why niggas got amnesia. Thank you for that. You're welcome. There was no humanoids in the frat. Yeah, that part I figured. But even there was death. My children died shortly before I came back to this world. It was the most. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, bro. Being like when it comes to form, like if you ever experience anything with form, that form can always be discarded because you have no form. Like your soul has no form; it just chooses to take on form. So if you're choosing to take on form, that form can always be discarded, which is what some people call death. LOL. What do Anunnaki look like? Depends on what Anunnaki you're talking about, but they essentially look like giant humans. Some look like black men with dreads. Others just look like giant humans in general, right? Like some people call, like some people use the term Nephilim in Anunnaki for the same exact shit. Those are just like giant humans. There's other Anunnaki that are like fucking black men with dreads and shit like that, especially like in the Sirius constellation. There's those beings. Yeah. I heard it's because we step into water which holds memory, and our memories bleed into water before we are birth and come in agreement. Yeah, that's what the womb shit deals with. They literally in the if you look at the Egyptian myth, they talk about how humans, when humans were becoming more ignorant, their punishment was being born in watery encasements. And when you get and that they would be born inside mortal room, and that they would be born inside mortal wombs. I broke this shit down on Patreon a while ago. But with that being said, with that being said, yeah, when you're in the womb, there's mad water there. You know what I'm saying? Like people mention stepping through the firmament and stuff like that, but there was a time when you went through the firmament and still knew who you were. Like when people talk about realm 3 Egypt, people still were able to access who they were. They were still, not in like always they weren't always they still were blah, blah, blah. They still were not always in the highest state. If they were, there would have been no war. But the biggest forgetfulness comes from the womb, for sure. Have you seen beings with black skin, white hair, and silver eyes? Yeah. I've seen dragon blooded humans that look like this. I've seen Ashkenati water beings that look like this. For sure. Not my apologies. Where. Not you. I didn't even protect it. No. You're good, Sean. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sean, that wasn't bad at all. You're good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't. There's no sweat, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the way you were saying it is probably how your mind was able to grasp it for yourself. And if that's the case, that's fine for you. Like if you understood that shit for yourself, that's good. You know what I'm saying? When you are when you're in the other side, do you automatically access consciousness or have all right, well, that's a weird question because we access consciousness right now. Okay, so do you mean like can you just immediately tap into higher states of awareness, higher states of consciousness? Because if you mean that, then do you automatically have it? Not inherently. You like if that was the case, people would if that was the case, evil people would leave their body and stop being evil. Um, you know what I'm saying? As far as this question, watch the several videos which I made about astral projection and OBEs. OBEing is astral projection. Astral projection can take place in many forms. You know what I'm saying? Remote viewing is a form of astral projection. Leaving the body is another. Leaving the body is like when you're fully out of your body, fully grounded in the astral plane. Remote viewing is just seeing into the astral plane, but you're still awake in the physical body. You know what I'm saying? But there leaving dreaming is also astral projection because you're in the astral layer of your own mind. Remote viewing, OBEs, and dreaming, these are all just different forms of astral projection. You know what I'm saying? And some forms are less involved, and other forms are more involved with the astral plane. For a deeper understanding, watch my video about it though. I have several. I have a playlist that's called Astral Projection. In that video, or in that playlist, you'll find the video. But yeah, no. Like you don't automatically access that shit. Like if that was the case, evil people would leave their body and automatically have the highest forms of consciousness. But that's not the case. That's why evil people could leave their body and do evil shit, and they still stay at a low level of awareness because they're not choosing to tap into higher shit. I'm from the Caribbean. Hey, brother. I'm from the Caribbean. What's your energetic take on the Caribbean and how this affects the world? Because people are very behind mentally, spiritually, doing voodoo, interact with demons, etc. That does happen, but that's not the only thing that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like there's immortals in the Caribbean. There's Haitian immortals, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So like not everyone is behind mentally and spiritually. In fact, even the ones that work with demons are a bit more ahead than Americans because Americans fuck with demons also. Americans fuck at least with the niggas who practice voodoo, they know what they fucking with. There's humans that fuck with demons without knowing it. When niggas be overly acting lustful, overly angry, they fucking with demons too. They're just not aware of it. At least the Caribbeans are aware of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And there's Caribbean immortals. There's niggas in Haiti that are just like Taoist immortals. They're just Haitian. You know what I'm saying? Facts. So my take on it is that the Caribbean is a beautiful place. I wish that niggas stopped doing the evil shit, but the beautiful shit is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So before birth, did we just manifest into an experience? And is that yes? I already mentioned this before too, in other videos. You need to watch the live stream that's called the fuck did I title that shit? The fuck did I title that shit? It was the most recent one. Forgotten Histories, Celestial Messages. Watch that shit. Yeah, before you would just materialize in the experience, however the fuck you wanted to. Which hand is powerful? Whichever one you make powerful. Are you aware of the meeting Trump had with the Nordics about the Strait of Hormuz? Plus, if I just have an intention to leave my body when I go to sleep, could I just leave my body? You can if your intention is strong enough and if you don't fall asleep. And have you done it with only intention before? Yes, I have. Most definitely. Um, I've done it without an intention at all. I've done it where I just woke up in a state to leave my body. I just left my body. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I'm not aware of that meeting that he had with the nurse about the Strait of Hormuz. I've not heard about that. Most of our politicians and the wealthy must yes, they do. That's a fact. It doesn't matter. Kind of doesn't. It's good to know about it. So it's good to know about it so you don't get fucked up about it. But at the same as that time, if you're just following your spirit, you'll be good. You know what I'm saying? How often are they around you? All the time. They inhabit the same space as you right now. Nah, well, I'm from Trinidad. Drinking and smoking weed is the average. Spiritually aware people who are not tied to religion are very hard to define. Have not met another. Yeah, it's and that's just like America though. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I feel it. It gets like niggas are behind though. But yeah, that it's like that in America too, though. You feel me? But I haven't looked into Trinidad. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm on the Haitian side with the Caribbean shit. You feel me? So I don't know much about Trinidad, but that sounds like niggas on Earth. I mean on Earth. That sounds like niggas in America. You know what I'm saying? To be honest. When I came back from the fractal realm, I felt myself being folded into this 3D body. It's horrific. Can't recommend. Can't recommend it honestly. Worst thing you can experience. Literally worse than dying. Damn, that's crazy, bro. Well, shit. I'm glad that the pain's over. But we've been going for 2 hours now, and I think I'm gonna end it right here. How do I become? I talked about this earlier. Literally, just become more lucid inside your everyday life, bro. Just be more. Just be the witness more in your everyday life. You know what I'm saying? I mentioned that earlier inside this Q&A. I think the ketamine made your experience a lot worse than it needed to be because I be hearing people turn into toasters, which that's crazy. When you die, you want to phone a phone is great. Word. Broski, take care. Thanks for life. Yeah, yeah, of course. And also, I'm not dying. I'm never dying. You know what I'm saying? Even if I pass away from this physical form, that's not death because I always live on. How to lucid dream while awake? That makes no sense. Your body needs to be asleep. Makes no sense. You can enter into a lucid dream while being awake, but then you'll fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? But like your body has to shut down to some degree. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to meditate, detach from the senses. Over time, hitting the gaga pops up, you could fall into a dream from there. But at that point, your body will be asleep. Um, Thanks for the videos. You're welcome. Y'all welcome. I'm gonna end this joint right here. I love y'all. We should be going live, you know what I'm saying, pretty soon again. You know what I'm saying? I love going live and talking to y'all. You feel me? So yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm gonna end this joint right here. I love y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace out.